In this video, I'm going to be talking about why most apps onboardings actually suck. And this is coming from someone who studied about 200 onboarding screens. On top of that, I run my own app called Journey. It's an AI weight loss coach that has about 1,000 reviews on the App Store, and it has made a total of about $13,000. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about exactly how you can improve your onboarding to increase sales and conversion in total. And we're gonna do that by just showing my app, right? So immediately, right when people open up your app, they gotta know exactly what your app does. If they don't, then they're not gonna even continue with the onboarding because they're gonna be confused why, they even want to, right? So immediately, I show exactly what the app does by doing a little video, right? Then I press get started, and then I just ask some basic questions, get to know the user, right? So boom, Danny, basic questions. What is your gender? But the key thing is make sure all these questions actually apply to your niche, right? My niche is weight loss. So I'm obviously going to ask them a lot of questions about weight loss, right? If you're like a looks maxing type app, you're going to ask a lot more questions about looks maxing, right? It just depends on your niche. All you basically need to know is, get to know the user, right? Then slowly ask more and more personal questions about their problem or, whatever your niche is, right? Mine's weight loss. So the first question you have in your onboarding is usually the most broad, but then near the end of your onboarding, it's usually questions that are very, very niche to your niche, right? So right now we're in broad questions. What is your gender? But all these definitely apply to my niche. When were you born? How tall are you? All these still apply to my niche. What's your current weight? This is very important for my niche. So 180, whatever. How often do you weigh yourself? So do you see now what I'm talking about? Each question is slowly getting more personal to make the user feel like we're about to make a plan or something for them that's very personalized, which is gonna really like improve conversion because it feels really personal, right? So boom, I'm gonna keep going. Do you follow a diet? We're still on topic. Boom. How often do you exercise each week? Boom, right? And something you need to realize, like a lot of these onboarding questions, they mean absolutely nothing, right? At least as the app, I'm not actually even saving these answers at all. It's just to literally help improve conversion. So yeah, I know a lot of people are gonna ask, but it's literally just mind games at this point. But yeah, what's your goal weight? Boom. When do you want to reach your goal? Okay, you're starting to know it's getting a little bit more personal, right? You gotta essentially think of your onboarding as you're about to you're a coach asking your client, personal questions to understand them, basically. So, boom, I'm gonna, let me see. I'm gonna move it to 2027. Boom, and then after all the questions, you gotta make sure, you know, you you tell them basically their goal or their achieve appearance or whatever your case is that it's not hard. Whatever the result of your app is, make sure you emphasize the result is not that hard. Because then it's going to motivate them to actually go through with your app, right? In this case, your goal to lose 20 pounds in 12 months is not hard. Boom. And then, boom, we show them an entire plan um, starting from today, right? Boom, 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 boom. We show them basically if you hit all these days in a row, you'll be able to lose, 20 pounds in 1 year, basically. Um, so boom. Now they feel very, very personalized. In your case, if you run a looks maxing type app, you would show them a result um, of before what they would look like and then after. If you run a like quit porn type app, in this case you would show um, basically the same calendar screen and then tell them quitting porn in 20 days or so is possible, and then emphasize it with using this calendar. What so yeah, that's something pretty OP with that. Then after showing all that, you continue asking them some more questions, right? Boom, boom, boom. What would you like to accomplish? Boom. You just ask them more questions. And then finally, I'm just going to keep going. You guys kind of get the point. there's just a lot of questions. The more questions, honestly, the better, because it makes the user feel like, they're getting learned, which is very, very important, right? Boom. Here's all the questions. We're still going, by the way. And then eventually, you want to start asking questions on how their problem has caused other problems, right? Has your weight caused any health problems? Because then they're gonna be like, oh my god, it has caused some problems. I really, really need to fix, because not only I look bad, I might die. You know what I'm saying? So boom, and we really emphasize it by using real studies. You can see, boom, back to back studies, boom, and these are real studies. These aren't just random words we're putting out, right? Boom. And then finally, after all of the questions, learning about the user, plus showing them the plan, right? And showing them, our app is gonna make your result easy. The process is gonna be really, really easy. Then really showing them, if you don't listen to us, it's gonna lead to a lot more problems. And then finally, after all of that, they're gonna realize, okay, my problem with weight loss is really bad. Not only because I feel bad, it's because it's leading to other problems, right? After all of that, you finally ask them the hitter question: do you want to lose weight? Obviously, the answer is yes. But this is just the reason why we ask this question is to really stamp in, oh yeah, I have a problem and I admit to it. Boom. And then after that, we get them to sign their commitment to really, really like drill in their head, yes, I have a problem. I'm admitting to it and I need help. And then boom. After that, we give this progress wheel. For reference, this progress wheel is absolutely nothing, right? But we do it to really to make it seem like we're about giving them a crazy, crazy plan, right? And then give us a rating screen is obviously good for ratings. And then boom. And then after all this, we get them to put in their email, because they're really, really invested at this point. So the drop off at this point is basically none. So boom, you just ask for their email, you just put in a password. I'm just gonna put some random thing. It doesn't really matter. Boom, create account. And then after all that, you basically see subscribe yearly. And yeah, that's the whole onboarding per se, right?